Tony, first of all, congratulations. Nice,
Thanks very much.
Trophy in front of you. Tell us about the last month then, apart from Saturday. I'll come back to Saturday in a minute.
Honoured to achieve that, and I'm going to say the award goes to me, but I attribute it to my staff. You know, the staff that I've got that work with me on a daily basis are outstanding. Stuart Taylor, as I say, is probably my most important signing. Scott Patterson, Alan Combe, Matty Castle, and Robert Keelty and Doc McCormack, who head up the medical sports science. So this is an award for them as well, you know, for the amount of work that we've put in. And in particular, you know, it's been quite a gruelling schedule, you know, but we've dealt with that. I also need to give credit to Gordon for his technical support and to John Nelms. But testament mostly, to answer your question, is to the players, because the period I've been awarded with this was straight after the Celtic game, you know, where we received quite a chastening defeat. And I said at the time it was important the reaction would be defined by the reaction from this, and the reaction was the games that we won in March that resulted in me gaining this award. So I'd like to thank the players and pay a great testament to them that's the reason it's sitting here on the table.
Saturday, top six, opportunity missed?
Yeah, but listen, you know, better than in life, sometimes you don't get a second opportunity. We've got a second opportunity. I thought we were really comfortable at 2-0, and then again a VAR decision goes against us, and there's a momentum swing in the game. But listen, it's gone now. That's history. That was an opportunity that we had, but we've got another opportunity that's presenting itself over the next week. We've got 2 games, and we know what the objective is now, to try and take the points that would enable us to achieve that objective. But we're very focused and driven, and we've discussed it, as we always do, as an honest group. We analyse things, and we're now looking forward, and the first game now is Wednesday night against Rangers.
Got to speak about the pitch, Tony. Obviously, it appeared to hold up quite well. I think there's going to be some biblical rain again tonight and maybe tomorrow. Do you have any concerns at all about the game tomorrow night?
No, and I don't, and it's not an area I'm comfortable talking about, because it's not an area I'm that qualified in. All I know is there's a game going ahead on Wednesday night. My job at the football club is to prepare the football team for that, and that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'll continue to do.
Is the covers, are they going down today, do you know?
As far as I believe, I've just had assurances that the game will be on Wednesday night. That's all I know. That's all I need to know. All I need to know is the game will go ahead. So it allows me to prepare my team accordingly.
Finally then, on the pitch, do you think, obviously you've got one home game before the split, you don't know how many games you'll have after the split. In the summer, does there need to be some serious work done?
Again, it's something that, you know, it's something that I'm not that comfortable speaking about. It's something you'd better speak to somebody that's more qualified to answer that. But obviously, you know, you see the way we play. You know, I want the best pitch possible for my team, because I think we've got a really good football inside. You know, we've got a style of play that lends itself to playing in the deck and building it from the back and centre half stepping in. And so the better the pitch, the better the performance for us. But in saying that, as a footballer and as a team, you need to be adaptable to every condition, you know, throughout a rigorous campaign. So yeah, I'd like to play on a good pitch, but let's just make sure that our team are ready and set up for any eventuality.
What do you expect from Rangers then after their exploits?
What a fantastic! I've got to say, I just said to the other, what a brilliant game that was. Just a fantastic advert for our national sport. That was, you know, it blew me away how good the quality, the tempo, the competitiveness of the fixture, and great credit. You know, it's a brilliant showcase for our game. So with Rangers coming up here, you know, on the back of that, you know, I was nothing but impressed with, you know, particularly their second half performance. But it was just a brilliant game of football. And listen, we know the enormity of the task ahead of us, but both teams are going in different motivations, but who's to say whose motivation is stronger? So we've had 2 games against them this season, and we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to a game that, you know, their manager's done fantastically well since he's come in, so we know how hard a task it's going to be, but we'll prepare accordingly and make sure that we're ready.
Philippe Clement was very critical of the Dens Park pitch, obviously, when the game was put off. Can you use that to an advantage, possibly, this weekend?
Listen, you look at everything when you're playing against your opponent, and the most important thing is you look at the opponents and you identify any strengths, you identify any weaknesses, and you try and exploit the weaknesses and negate the strengths. So we'll be endeavouring to do that. I wouldn't bring a pitch into that at all, because again, I'm not qualified to talk about pitches. I'm qualified to talk about football players, and that's what I'll do.
A politician as well, I think, Tony. Well
there you go, mate. There you go.
Tony, just one more question. I appreciate you've answered a few questions on the pitch, but are you aware, are there any contingency plans in place?
Not aware. Not aware of that. As far as I'm prepared, my brief is there's a game going ahead Wednesday night. We're playing against Rangers, who are coming up here, and I have to prepare my team to play for that match, and that's what I'll do.
So no talk of another stadium or something?
Not that I'm aware of.
How significant would top six be for the club? Obviously, your first season in charge, the club's first season back in the top flight.
Of course it would be, but again, we're not going to head ourselves. It is a possibility now that we could do that. But I go back to the objective coming up as a newly promoted team is to make sure that you keep your survival and retain your SPFL status, and that's something that we're still very, very big on, and we won't get caught up in that. But now we're in a situation where we've got 2 games to go, and there's a realistic chance, if we do things right, we can achieve that objective. But we don't get too far away from what our main objective was.
With the way that the table's positioned, you pretty much have to match Hibs' result at the weekend, or potentially Motherwell, if they were to win. Does that potentially create a bit of a free hit for the Rangers game, potentially?
I would never say that. I would never say any game's a free hit, because I think that's disrespectful to my players. And every game, the nature of competition is somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. There might be a draw, but I think you need to get and approach every game like that. As you said there, with the situation with top 6, we're in a position now, thankfully, that it's in our hands. It's up to us. We're the masters of our own destiny, if you like. That if we do our job right and we get the job done, then we'll profit from that.
So, and again, it's difficult to predict the outcomes of games, but hypothetically, say Dundee are drawing with Rangers late on in the game, or would you be keen to push for that winner? I
don't do hypotheticals. I don't. I deal with reality, and we'll deal with that when the situation comes.
And team news for the
team news, delighted. We've got Ryan Howley back. Trevor Carson trained this morning. We've got Curtis Main and Josh Mulligan not too far away. We'll make a decision on them closer to the game. But and from Saturday, I never picked up anything fresh. So no, we're going into it, and we're good in terms of injuries. We're okay.
And going into this game, obviously, like you mentioned, the masters of your own destiny in terms of top 6, and this match, especially being at home, as we've spoken about. Just how big a part can the fans play? So they'll be kind of willing the team to get over the line. Yeah,
the fans, again, I always credit any opportunity I get, and it's genuine, because the fans have been outstanding, home and away this season. So to get the fixture at home, of course it's great, and there's nothing better than that dense park crowd to back the players, and the players appreciate it so much. So they'll play a pivotal role in anything that we do from here going forward.
And obviously a couple of difficult results so far this season against Rangers. What have you learned from those matches that you can take into Wednesday night?
Listen, Rangers are a fantastic team. They're competing and all. Watch that level of performance yesterday from both teams, and I thought it was outstanding. And as I said, they're on a great showcase. So we're under no illusions. We're playing a fantastic football team with really good players in it. But it's on the night, and it's very much us against them, and us trying to identifying and realising the real strengths that they have. But if there's any weaknesses, see if we can exploit any of them and see how we got on with that.
And just finally for myself, obviously after the game, at the weekend, losing to Motherwell from a winning position, it's a few times it's happened now this season. And has there been a particular issue you've noticed in a kind of similar pattern?
I think it's just it's part of a process. This we're the newly promoted team, and we're learning. There's out of my squad of 26 players. We're the youngest average age squad in the league. Out of that, there's 17 players of the 27 that have made their SPFL debut this year, and of that, 11 of them are under 21. 8 of them being international. So it is a process, we're learning as we go, but the good thing for me is we are learning and we're developing and we're improving. So yeah, there'll be a bit of that this season, but you need to remember there has to be a wee bit of reality check that we are the newly promoted team, and this is part of a process, developing the football club to getting better and continually improving.
You've said about when you analyse any team that's coming to play Dundee, you weigh up the strengths and the weaknesses of the team that's coming to you. Mm-hmm. But when you're playing a team like Rangers, there's a bit of an imbalance there between the strengths and weaknesses. How do you deal with that with your planning?
Well, it's like everything. It's trying to, even for your game plan, to have a balance between defending and attacking. You respect every opponent, but certainly when you do the amount of work, as I mentioned about my staff earlier on, the amount of work that we do in terms of the analysis of the opposition. Of course, you don't hide away. There's huge strengths. There's a reason for that, but you also have to try and identify, getting into any match, if there's any weaknesses that you can exploit, and that's what we'll endeavour to do as a staff, and try and impart that information onto the players, because it's important that we go into that pitch a confident side, that we make sure that we can contribute to the game as much as we can, and we've got good players at this football club. I think you've seen that, and just hopefully they take the opportunity. It's a big stage for a lot of them, game live and television. So it's a big stage for them, and they'll want to represent themselves, and they'll want to represent the football club well as well.
You mentioned about the showcase that took place yesterday with Rangers and Celtic performing there and how much each team put into that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that because that game's taking place, Dundee might take a little advantage out of that because it's a day less?
Listen, Rangers and Celtic are used to this, you know, the amount of games they play with European competition and always involved in every cup competition. I don't think it's anything new to them, you know, and I think particularly with the resources that they have, you know, both in terms of personnel and the behind the scenes, you know, sports science and all that. No, I don't think I wouldn't look a lot into that. You know, yes, it was a brilliant game yesterday and real high energy, but I think these clubs are used to dealing with that. So listen, and I'm speaking about Rangers. I can't speak about Rangers. I can't affect that. What I can affect is my team, you know, and we're just in the back of a game at the weekend there. We've had a good day's training and we're ready and making sure as best we can get into the final week before the split to try and give us a chance to achieve our objectives.
Well, first of all, how did you find the surface on Saturday?
Oh yeah, it wasn't ideal. I think everyone knows that. But at the end of the day, the game needed to be played, so I think we're glad it went ahead. We're just disappointed with the way it ended up.
You didn't expect that at the end, did you?
No, not at all. Obviously, we thought we started off well, good first half. In the second half, the whole momentum shifted, and obviously the penalty went against us, which obviously was a bit harsh. And then everything just changed from there.
How would you assess the season overall for yourself, first of all?
Personally, it's been okay. It could still be a lot better. I think I had higher expectations for myself than I think what I've achieved this year. So just keep going, and however many games we've got left, and hopefully keep improving.
And a top 6 place is still very much there.
Yeah.
To go, you need 3 points
Yeah.
to guarantee it though.
Yeah, I think obviously the results went our way as well on Saturday with ours going against us, but there's still all to play for, really. We've got 2 really big games coming up, none of which will be easy, but we just need to do our best.
In terms of the playing Rangers, obviously there was a lot of controversy over that at the time when the game was postponed a couple of weeks ago. Do you feel the surface maybe gives you a little bit of an advantage in that, you know, it's maybe not conducive to top football, you know, real top class football?
Yeah, I think it's clear the pitch obviously isn't good enough for this level of football, but I think at the same time it doesn't do Rangers any favour. But at the same time, I think we've got good enough players in our team as well who would prefer to play on a better pitch. So I think it doesn't totally suit us, but it probably suits them just a wee bit less. So it's still a lose-lose. I'd still rather take them on a nice pitch any day, to be honest with you.
And finally for me then, your manager's just got manager of the month. How big help has he been to you personally this season?
Yeah, it's been good. I think just as a whole team as a whole, we've been quite well organised and stuff. I think, obviously, personally, again, I feel like still could have done better. But as a team, I think no one can complain really with the season we've had. I think us as well, we could have been a lot higher than where we are now. Could have had a lot more points on the board than what we've tried to be.
Lyle, as just mentioned, in terms of finishing top 6, you need that win. A draw against Rangers really doesn't do too much more for you, gives you an extra point, but you still need to match Hibs' result at the weekend. Does that maybe kind of make it a bit more of like an all or nothing type game, that you can maybe go for it a little bit more?
I wouldn't say it's all or nothing just yet. I think a draw is still not a bad result. If we get a draw at home to Rangers, I think there'll be too many complaints about that, because that still, I think, benefits us a wee bit. If Hibs and Motherwell were to draw, maybe I think that would still be good enough for us. But end of the day, we're just focusing on ourselves. We're not looking at that other game. We just need to know if we get 3 points, it's top 6 is ours. So we're just looking at ourselves. That's what we need to do.
And is there a belief that you can take on Rangers?
Yeah, definitely. I think, like you said, the pitch earlier won't suit Rangers at all, and although it's not great for us either, we just need to get on with it. And I think regardless of where we're playing them, we've got quite a confident group of players, and I think we could take them anywhere. Just need to get a bit of luck here and there, and that's just the way it is when you play the Old Firm.
And what would a top 6 finish mean for you? First season, obviously, with the club back in the top flight, what do you think that would mean? I
think it would be massive for the whole club. I think obviously the expectation initially was just we're going to come up and go straight back down. I think we proved a lot of people wrong, and I think we could still do a lot more. I think we know that. We know we're good enough to keep pushing for the top 6 and even see where that takes us. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A day more with preparation than Rangers did a very tough game yesterday. Do you think that might help in a little bit towards Dundee's cause?
Yeah, I can't see why not. Obviously, it was a great game yesterday, and it was great to watch for the neutral, obviously, but I think they'll be quite tired. I know it wasn't an easy game at all. It went 96 minutes or something. It was a really hard-fought game, so no, I think that'll benefit us.
Dundee fans have been fantastic all season following Dundee at home and away. Tomorrow they're likely to have a little bit of challenge for the vocal winners of the day. What would you say to Dundee to make sure they come out on top with the fans singing?
I think that's always going to be hard to do when you play Celtic and Rangers. You know, they're absolutely amazing supported clubs, and you just need to accept that. So I think it wouldn't be much of a competition between our fans and theirs. I think they not just on that, but just need to keep doing what they're doing, keep turning up and supporting us the way they have been all season, and we'll just give our best on the pitch.
Spoke to Luke McCowan last week, and he reckons he's still in for the goal of the season with the Dundee players. And when challenged about your goal against St Johnstone, he didn't think that was better. What's your view on the subject?
Don't know, is what it is. See what people vote. Mine was alright, his were good as well, so just see what happens. I'm not too worried about that, to be fair. I'm just focused on getting top 6 just now, and if I get that, then I get it.